holidays, you're good.
I know you're a basketball first guy. I don't know how closely you've been watching all the playoffs, but Donovan Mitchell had 39 yesterday as the Cavs get past the Magic to advance. He had 50 in Game 6. So 89 points in 2 games for Donovan Mitchell. And Anthony Edwards on Saturday had 43 in their win over the Nuggets. So a couple of guys doing their thing in the NBA. I think this series, it's Game 2 tonight with the T-Wolves and the Nugs. I think that's going to be
watch.
Yes, it's going to be a very entertaining series, I believe. I heard the good kid breaking it down today, and I thought he was spot on. You know, the Nuggets got past the Lakers 4-1 and did not really even look like they played well.
No.
And if you bring that same level of game to this series with the T-Wolves, they won't get past the T-Wolves.
I think the Nuggets will end up finding...
I'm with you.
At least a better version of themselves. I don't know if they'll really play like they did last year, but I don't, like, today on, not Get Up, but I think on First Take, or maybe it was over the weekend, something where they're already declaring that the T-Wolves are going to win the series.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Like, you can't make proclamations after Game 1 of a 7-game series. Did you see, too, that Rudy Gobert is questionable for tonight?
I don't believe he's playing, is he? I think he's the birth of his kid.
But yeah, so they had their first child, and from what I've read, it's a matter of if he can get back to Denver in
questionable
time.
for Game 2.
So he's questionable if he can get back in time. This is the thing that we've always talked about, right?
Yeah.
About if it's an important game, would you miss the game? And obviously, he's been looking forward to becoming a father, and he wanted to be there, which is totally understandable. And
family first.
And he's a big deal on taking the best player in the NBA out of his comfort zone.
Yeah, because he's not a threat on offense.
No, he's the best defender in the league.
Yes, he is.
At least one of them. He always wins Defensive Player of the Year, at least. This is my good. I thought this, I don't know if you probably heard about the trade with the Padres and the Marlins, with the Rise going to the Padres. But did you know that one of the players was traded by the Padres while he was on second base of his minor league game? I believe this happened on Friday night. This is the call of the minor league game as he was standing on second base.
Martorella is going to be pinch run for. I think these reports might be accurate, folks. Luke Montz has come down to the home plate umpire. He got word from his trainer in the dugout. Montz is coaching third base. They got his attention, and Martorella's out there at second, pointing at himself, going, "Who, me? What'd I do?" Well, Nathan, you're about to find out that there's some stuff going down. Pinch runner at second base is Chase Valentine. And, we're going to have some movement. Marcy and Martorella are both popping out of the San Antonio dugout. They get hugs from Luke Montz. They're going to the clubhouse. They're reportedly joining the Miami Marlins organization. They're going to take a trek down the right field line as we get a Traveler pitching change. Hill being lifted here in the third. 2 on, 1 out. Trav's back to the bullpen. We got all sorts of baseball stuff going on here at DSP tonight. Martorella and Marcy headed to the clubhouse trying to explain to everybody in a gray shirt what's on earth is going on here tonight. They're giving out hugs. What a scene on a Friday night in May. 8-2, Travs lead it. Pitching change here for the Travelers. We're back after this on Buzz 2.
Buzz 2. First of all, doesn't every minor league announcer sound alike?
Yes.
Every minor league broadcast sound alike. But second of all, that is, do you ever remember a guy getting traded while he was on base? Like, sure, it's happened during games. And I've seen guys where they've had to switch clubhouses, like after one game, and they play for the other team, like in second game of a doubleheader. I don't know if I've ever seen mid-game a guy on base getting taken out because he's been traded.
Yeah, you can't get him hurt.
It's pretty funny.
That is good.
Didn't that happen to Wilmer Flores? He wasn't on base, but he was in the field, I want to say.
Oh, what, did he get taken
Flores,
out?
And he, like, started crying, like, on the field.
Did he
That
really?
is right, while he was playing for the Mets.
Yes.
So that was a major leaguer. I thought that was pretty funny. This guy had no clue. He's like, why are you taking me out? I'm on second base right now. I'm running the bases. Why are you taking me out? But yeah, he was one of the players traded.
Like how long do you think in his head until it clicked in his head? Oh no. Or you know what I mean?
Or
like,
is he happy?
Or oh yes.
I mean, he's going from San Diego to Miami, so I don't know.
Is he? And does he get promoted right away, or is he just going from minor league to minor league?
Probably minor league to minor league, but he's probably got a clearer path to get to the majors for the Marlins.
You could play for the Marlins at some point, probably in their minor league.
At least as a hitter.
Yeah, like it's got to be awkward for minor leaguers because, like, I'm sure their agents tell them a little bit of stuff here, but it's not like minor leaguers' names are in the trade unless you're a top prospect. Your name's not in like the trade rumors. Sphere, the rumor mill. Yeah.
What do you got, Meller? What's your gut?
I'm going to go with the Kentucky Derby. The 150th running was a fabulous finish, boys, as Mystic Dan edged out Forever Young and Sierra Leone in a 3-wide photo finish. I got a chance to explain to Alex, my son, when we were watching it. We watch one horse race a year. It's the Kentucky Derby. And I said, that's what the saying by a nose means. It's exactly it. We had a by a nose finish for first and second and third. It was that close. It was a pretty
photo finish as well. It's a good explanation for a photo finish.
Photo finish and by a nose. That's what you mean. So good stuff.
Didn't they say that it was the closest photo finish ever, or at least that's what they thought?
It had to have been. I mean, I can't imagine that there was one that was any closer than that. It was close to a dead heat.
They always do such a good job of broadcasting that event.
Yeah.
It is an event the way they cover that.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2.5 minutes, but
right.
The lead up during the day, and Mike Tirico's part of it, Eddie's part of it. It's a good presentation. I always enjoy it.
Randy Moss,
yes.
The other Randy Moss.
What do you got, Tyler? What's your good?
My good, Georgia baseball's Charlie Condon. If you haven't seen this, he has now homered in 7 straight games. He also hit his 33rd home run of the season as well. Both of those are records in it's called the BB Core era. I don't know if you guys remember. It was like 15 years ago. They basically deadened the metal bats across all levels of baseball. But he has now hit a home run in 7 straight games, and he's the #1 prospect in the MLB draft.
Did you see Justin Pottinger's brother homered over the weekend as well?
He's having a nice season.
He's had a very good
yeah.
year.
He plays for Indiana State, one of our producer's brothers. He's really good. All right, what's your bad?
My bad, inside the Brady roast, I thought Ben Affleck's appearance and performance, it was time to go to the bathroom. That's how bad it was. And then I told you guys, and again, I can't wait to hear what you all have to say. I thought Tom Brady's presentation at the end was the worst part of it. I just did. Like when Belichick was up there doing his thing, basically in his character. Gronk, his personality, he didn't change. Brady seemed like he morphed into something or someone that he's not. It was just really weird.
Do you think he was drunk and he was trying to get through it?
I don't know, because like this had to be pre-written, and my wife and I watched it and we're like, wow, that's just, I mean, I know it's a roast, but it's just weird. Like when Gronk does his thing, yeah, Edelman, yes. Belichick, yes, all in character. He was like playing the part of a character it was just weird. I thought it was really weird. So I thought it was a good night, good show. But Ben Affleck and Tom Brady, I thought they were the weak links of the entire presentation.
I probably won't get a chance to watch the end of it tonight just because of the basketball game, and Cubs are playing the Padres tonight. But I need to watch the second half soon. My bad is watching the Cubs bullpen in one-run games. We talked about it on Friday. They lost that game. They blew that game, and I think it was 6-4 on Saturday. And Hector Neris is he's a heart attack. Heart attack Hector. I don't know, whether it's always nervous Neris or heart attack Hector. I don't know what to call him. He can't close for you. He can be your 7th inning guy or 8th inning guy, but he's just too erratic. And I don't want what's happened the last yesterday to just be the sort of the palate cleanser. Do you know what I mean? And Jed to think, okay, we're getting healthier and we're going to get better now that Ben Brown's down there and soon we're going to get another arm down there because Wicks should be coming back soon.
You should still be looking at.
Yes, you've got to be looking at guys who are specialists at this. And again, because all these games count the same, and this excuse that it's too early or that there's a lot of season to go. A blown game in May counts the same as a blown game in July or a blown game in August. Those are games you can't make up. So this is something that they've got to take care of. I don't want them to go out and overpay. Don't get me wrong, but still, this is a red flag, and they must get it taken care of. And the bullpen has shown you from the very start that they're blowing these one-run games, and they must get it taken care of sooner rather than later. What do you got, Meller?
My bad is some of the endings for some teams in the first round of the playoffs. The Clippers, of course, bounced by the Mavs. Their whole situation with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George is up in the air, and another first-round exit for them. Of course, the Suns, a very disappointing 4-0 sweep to the T-Wolves. And, of course, the Bucks go down with Doc Rivers, the mid-season coaching change for them. That was a bit of a disaster if you look at it. And then how about the Maple Leafs? Yet again, another early exit from the NHL playoffs. So the playoffs are great this time of year, but for a lot of teams, the early exits call into question what their future is as teams. And for a lot of them, it is very uncertain.
Is it me? I know you were talking NBA. Are we... every year at this time, are we always talking about the Toronto Maple Leafs?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. They absolutely are in the mix. You know, I don't know who had a more disappointing, you know, it's great to go to 7 games, but year after year, when you always get bounced in the 7th game, it sucks.
It's pretty much been all chalk in the Stanley Cup.
It really has,
playoffs,
yeah.
hasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
but do they ever go far? Do the Maple Leafs ever go far?
They don't go far, Sylvie. Last year, remember, they snapped the streak. I think it was last year. It wasn't 2 years ago when they actually got out of the first round, but then they immediately were dumped in the second round.
Yeah.
So, you know.
What do you got, Tyler?
My bad is the rain delay that took place in St. Louis on Saturday. And just the Cardinals. And anytime you lose a series to the White Sox, you're going to get my bad for the weekend, too. But a 3-hour rain delay that ended up resulting in 1 out being played. Just play it the next day.
That's actually just a piggyback. That's my dirty. Any 3-hour rain delay for a game between the White Sox and the Cardinals, I'm with you. And if you're Shea or you're Jack and you have to hang around, that's just it's a dirty night.
It's the rule, right, though?
Yeah.
Isn't it because it's the rule? They should change the rules. Is that what you're saying? Because isn't it the rule that if that gets called there, then it goes back to the previous inning getting wiped out? I don't think you could
believe
continue
that's
it.
right, but still, like
when
just,
it's the Cardinals and the White Sox, flip a coin. And whoever, calls the coin, you get the win.
It very easily could have been the bases were loaded with 2 outs.
Yeah, you should be able to continue it and be like, look, we got a game tomorrow. No, the teams aren't going anywhere. The weather's fine. Let's let common sense prevail and not make these teams wait 3 hours. Let's pause this. We'll pick it up tomorrow at noon.
Yes.
And then we'll play game 3 of the game starting at 1:10.
Probably raise the risk of injury dramatically by doing it this way. I don't know how many guys are making sure that they're loose when they get back out.
And why make fans, I don't know, maybe there's a fan thing where you want... but yes, who does that help by making fans wait 3 hours? When
Certainly
the radar
not
looks
Shea
like
or
that,
Jack. Yeah, they were hunkered down in here, weren't they?
Yeah, by the way, did you see there was a quote in James Fegan's piece as well from the weekend? Grifol said, in that 3 hours and 3 minute delays, they stayed focused, said Pedro Grifol. Tanner Banks, I ended up taking a nap. You can't stay locked in for a couple hours.
It's just like...
Well, as he should. I'm not blaming the nap. I'm not saying they shouldn't take a nap.
No, but
the Pedro Grifol saying that they stayed focused just for that mental masturbation line, look how prepared my team is.
It's pretty much a certainty that if you sit and talk with Pedro and then go talk to somebody else 5 minutes later,
no connection.
You're going to get separate answers to the same question.
It's just him trying to flex and say, look, I've got a grasp of my team. My team's prepared. No, there's not one team who's going to stay focused through a 3 hour delay. Not one.
Nope.
What do you got for your dirty?
My dirty was Tyler's. It was the 3-hour rain delay. That's just dirty for everybody.
My dirty, did you see this? This is going back to the Nuggets and the Wolves, T-Wolves, who's playing tonight. I saw this stat on social media. They have met 14 times since the start of 22-23, okay? So in their last 14 meetings, they're 7-7.
Wow.
The Denver Nuggets have scored 1,565 points. The Minnesota Timberwolves have scored 1,555 points. They're 1 point away from each other.
That's crazy.
1,565 to 1,555. 7-7, 14 matchups. That is dirty. And this is going to be fantastic. I think you are seeing two great, fun Western Conference teams. And if you don't love NBA basketball, this may get you back a little bit because it's not the same old, and it's young, emerging superstars. It's the best player in the league. It's one of the most underrated players in the league in Jamal Murray, and it's probably the best up-and-coming player in the league that is getting the comps with Michael. So tune in.
Tune in.
I'll work off of that. This isn't my exact dirty, but they tweet out there with, I saw this weekend, everyone's up in arms about Drake hiding a kid for 11 years when Michael Jordan been hiding Anthony Edwards for 22. That was dirty over the weekend. But my actual dirty is Shohei Ohtani putting the Major League Baseball universe on notice now that he doesn't have to focus on pitching this season because he's recovering from Tommy John surgery. He's taken his hitting to an absolute another level. He's leading baseball in batting average and like so many key hitting categories. He's just absolutely trouncing the opposition, and he went off on the Braves this weekend. Look out because he is an absolute beast at the plate right now.
You said batting average, Jeff, also first in OPS, first in extra base hits, tied for first in home runs. You're right. He's been unbelievable.
And then when you look at like the nerd numbers, like his ex-WOBA, his XBA, his ex-slugging.
What's an ex-WOBA?
It's your ex-on-base average. Anyway,
What?
His average
on-base percentage?
his ex-WOBA. We don't have time to get into it. I don't want to
Ex-WOBA.
His ex-WOBA.
I don't think you know it. I think you're just...
His XBA,
You think he's
his
making it up?
X-slug,
Yes.
his average exit velocity, his barrel percentage, his hard hit
His
percentage,
double bubble zip zang.
his sweet spot percentage. It's all 100th percentile. It's insane. He's just out of his mind right
What's
now.
his BABIP?
His BABIP is probably really high.
Well, wait a second. You just got all snotty there. And
With the ex-WOBA, the
No,
XBA.
you went, it's BABIP.
It's your
not BABIP.
It's your expected weighted on base average.
Okay, my eyes just rolled in the back.
That's
of my
what I
head.
figured.
Yeah.
But he's good.
Tyler?
My dirty from the weekend, Ryan Pohl's in attendance for this, by the way. Lando
F1.
Norris at the F1 race took down Max Verstappen. I'm trying to think of like what the comp for that is, but like Verstappen doesn't lose these things. He like never loses in F1. It's the first time I've ever watched F1. I turned it on for like the final like 10 minutes of the race, and I was like, oh, Verstappen lost.
How many cars are in that race?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I know nothing about it.
I don't either.
Is watching the F1 Netflix stuff worth watching?
I know so many people who wake up early on is it Sunday mornings or Saturday mornings to watch F1 now because they watch the show.
Like, because you know me, I'm not the biggest golf fan, but I loved Full Swing. And people have told me that I would love the F1 stuff. Is it called F1 on Netflix?
It's called Drive to Survive. They were the ones that pioneered like all of these different series.
This came out before the golf, right?
Yeah, they went from F1 to tennis to golf.
I may have to. Did you guys see the menu prices
Yes, I did.
at F1?
No.
Can we give that at the beginning of Aki's A-list?
Yeah, I'll find those.
Wait, Waddle, wait till you hear this. The drinks were crazy, but the food items I thought was even more outlandish than the drink prices. Read those, Tyler, coming, because it was in Miami, and you know Miami's one of the most expensive towns out there. But I saw it on Twitter. We'll read those. Aki's A-list coming up. Jed is expected to meet the media. He could be doing it as we speak. Once he's done, Jesse's going to hop on, give us the latest from Wrigley.